The designer sunglasses felt foreign on Alex Williams' face as he tapped the white cane against the marble steps of the downtown plaza. Billionaire. CEO. Invisible. He'd spent 15 years commanding boardrooms where men twice his age waited on his every word, but today he wanted something money couldn't buy, proof that genuine kindness still existed beneath the city's glittering surface. The first woman's Chanel perfume reached him before her irritated sigh. Seriously? Move. Some of us have actual places to be. Her heels clicked past without pause. The second nearly knocked him over. Watch where you're going. The third was the worst. Her voice dripped with contempt as she muttered to her friend, "Why do they even let these people out here? It's depressing." Alex's jaw tightened. Maybe his father was right. Maybe the world really was just takers and users, everyone out for themselves. He was about to abandon his experiment when a soft voice broke through his darkening thoughts. "Excuse me, are you okay? You seem lost." He turned toward the warmth in her tone, surprised by the genuine concern threading through her words. A hand gently touched his elbow. "Wherever you need to go, whatever you need to do, I'll help you. I'm all yours today." For the first time that morning, Alex Williams smiled. "Hit that like button and drop a comment telling me the part that caught your attention. I want to see how far the story travels. Now let's begin." "I'm Jennifer," she said, slipping her arm through his with easy confidence. "Jennifer Smith, event planner, currently between gigs, which means today the universe freed me up to help you." Alex felt the lie settle heavier on his tongue. "I was trying to reach the Riverside Park." "Perfect. It's about 15 minutes if we take the scenic route." She began walking, her voice painting the world around them. "We're passing the old theater now, the one with the Art Deco facade that looks like frozen champagne bubbles. And there's Mrs. Chen's flower cart on the corner. Can you smell the jasmine?" He could. But more than that, he could hear something in Jennifer's voice he'd forgotten existed. Pure, uncomplicated joy in small things. She described the city he'd built his empire in as if it were magic, pointing out details he'd driven past 1,000 times without seeing. "That bookstore's been here since 1952, she continued. "The owner still writes recommendations by hand on little cards." Alex had negotiated the purchase of this entire block last year. He'd never once walked inside. "You really love the city," he said quietly. "I love people," Jennifer corrected. "The city's just where they are." Something shifted in his chest. What if he'd been wrong about everything? "Jenny,
This is so
my
cozy.
favorite
I love it
customer."
here.
The
Me
cafe
too.
owner's
It
accent
suits
was
us.
thick,
I'm glad we
warm.
came.
"And you brought a friend. Hi, Marco. 2 of your famous cappuccinos, please." Alex heard the genuine affection in the exchange, felt the worn wooden chair Jennifer guided him to. The cafe smelled of cinnamon and old books. Nothing like the sterile executive lounges where assistants brought him $8 espressos in branded cups. "I want to plan events that mean something," Jennifer said, her hands wrapped around her mug. "Not just corporate galas where people network and leave. Real celebrations. Moments people remember on their deathbeds, you know." Alex thought of the countless charity events bearing his name, tax write-offs dressed in evening wear. "That sounds beautiful. What about you? What do you do?" The lie came easier than it should have. "I work in business. Consulting, mostly. Truth and fiction blurred together. I've been successful, but lately I wonder if I've been measuring success wrong." "How so?" "Maybe it's not about what you build. Maybe it's about who you become while building it." Jennifer's hand found his across the table. "I think you're exactly where you need to be." The warmth of her touch made him feel like a fraud. The Riverside Park smelled of cut grass and river water. Jennifer guided him to a bench beneath what she described as a willow tree that looks like it's crying in reverse, reaching up instead of down. "I always carry this," she said, and he heard pages turning. "My father gave it to me. Neruda. I want to do with you what spring does with the cherry trees." Her voice transformed the words into something sacred. When she finished, silence settled between them like snow. "My dad raised me alone," Jennifer said softly. "Mom left when I was 6. He worked 2 jobs, but always said we were rich, because we had each other. He taught me that wealth isn't what you have in the bank, it's what you give away that no one can take back. Alex thought of his own father, who taught him the opposite. Every relationship is transactional. Everyone wants something. Trust is liability. He sounds like a good man. He was. He died 3 years ago, but I still try to live like he's watching. She laughed, but it caught. Probably sounds silly. No, Alex said, his throat tight. It sounds like the only thing that matters. What if everything he'd been taught was wrong? The market exploded with sound and smell, vendors shouting prices, spices sharp in the air. Alex let Jennifer guide him through the chaos, but his carefully constructed act was fraying. A child darted past, knocking a ceramic cup from a display. Alex's hand shot out, catching it mid-fall. The silence stretched too long. Good reflexes, Jennifer said carefully. I heard it falling. Lucky guess. His heart hammered. 2 stalls later, he did it again. The embroidered scarves to our left are incredible, he said, forgetting himself. Jennifer stopped walking. How did you? You described them earlier, didn't you? The lie tasted bitter. No, I didn't. He could feel her studying him, reassessing. Say something. Tell her the truth. But the words stuck in his throat like broken glass. Were you always blind? She asked quietly. The out she was offering him, he grabbed it like a lifeline. No. Recent. I'm still adjusting. Sometimes I forget. She squeezed his arm. That must be so hard. The sympathy in her voice killed him. He was in too deep, drowning in his own deception. But when she looked at him, really looked, seeing past money and power to something real, he'd never felt more visible in his life. He couldn't stop. Not yet. The bookstore smelled like time itself, leather and dust and possibility. Jennifer's fingers trailed along spines as she walked, reading titles aloud like prayers. This one, she said, pulling a volume free. Her shoulder brushed his as she opened it, her voice dropping to read. We are all broken. That's how the light gets in. Alex felt the words pierce something he'd kept carefully armored. Her hand rested near his on the book's edge, close enough that he could feel her warmth. Jennifer! The owner emerged from the stacks. Any word on that big gala proposal? Still waiting to hear back. It's for the Williams Industries Foundation, their annual charity event. Pride brightened her voice. If I land it, it could change everything for my business. Alex's blood turned to ice water. When is it? He asked, fighting to keep his voice steady. Next Friday. 7 days. Jennifer's hand found his. I know it's crazy, but would you maybe want to come? As my date. 7 days. 7 days until his world and hers collided, until the truth detonated everything they were building. I'd love to, he heard himself say. The lie was now a ticking bomb. The river reflected the dying sun in ways Alex knew he shouldn't be able to describe. They sat in comfortable silence until Jennifer's hand covered his, her thumb tracing absent circles on his palm. This is going to sound insane, she said softly. We just met this morning, but I feel like I can see you. Really see you. She paused, choosing words carefully. Not what you look like, but who you are. Does that make sense? Alex's chest constricted. She saw him, saw through the wealth and power to something he'd forgotten existed. Something real. Something worth knowing. Jennifer, I need to tell you something. You don't have to say anything, she interrupted gently. I just wanted you to know. Whatever you're going through, whatever made you test the world today, I see someone kind underneath. Someone who's been hurt. Someone who's forgotten how to trust. She was giving him everything, seeing past his defenses to the man he'd buried under ambition and cynicism. Tell her now. But fear paralyzed him. Fear of losing this, of watching her warmth turn to disgust, of proving his father right about how the world worked after all. Thank you, he whispered instead. The words he should have said died unspoken. His first real mistake. The sun bled orange across the horizon as they walked back toward the plaza where they'd met. Jennifer's steps had slowed, as if she could stretch the day by moving carefully enough. So, about the gala, she began, her voice carrying a nervousness he hadn't heard all day. "I know this is completely forward, and we literally just met this morning, but—" She took a breath. "Would you want to come with me? As my date?" Alex's heart performed an impossible feat, breaking and soaring in the same moment. "I know it's a fancy thing," she continued quickly, "and maybe that's not your scene, but I'd really love to see you again. If you want to, I mean. No pressure." He should tell her. Right now. Before this goes any further. Before the inevitable collision destroys them both. "I'd love to," he said instead, his voice rough with emotion. Her hand squeezed his. "Really? Really?" Jennifer laughed, the sound pure relief and joy. Okay, good. I'll text you the details. This is going to be amazing. 7 days. He had 7 days to figure out how to tell her the truth before his entire world imploded. He was running out of time. The Williams Foundation Gala glittered with old money and new ambition. Alex stood in his custom Tom Ford suit, surrounded by board members offering congratulations he didn't hear. He was scanning the ballroom, searching for her. Then he saw her. Jennifer stood near the entrance in a dress that was clearly borrowed, her hair swept up, looking more beautiful than anyone in the room. She was smiling at something the coordinator was saying. Then her eyes found him. He watched it happen in slow motion, the confusion, the recognition, the absolute horror washing across her face like a physical blow. Her hand flew to her mouth. Their eyes locked across 50 feet of polished marble. She turned and ran. "Jennifer!" He pushed through the crowd, ignoring the startled looks, the whispers. He caught her outside, her back against the building, tears streaming. "You can see," she whispered. "You could always see. I can explain. You used me. Some sick social experiment to see if poor people have hearts." Her voice cracked. "Was I entertaining enough? Did I pass your test?" "No, it wasn't like that." "Was any of it real?" The question destroyed him. "All of it. I can't believe anything you say." She walked away, and Alex stood alone in his empire, finally understanding what poverty really meant. 3 months of silence. Alex spent them at the Riverside Community Center, the place Jennifer had mentioned her father volunteered every Saturday. He served meals, tutored kids, listened to stories from people who didn't know his name or care about his net worth. He donated anonymously to the causes she talked about, literacy programs, arts education, the bookstore struggling to stay open. Not for her. For himself. To become the man she'd somehow seen beneath the lies. He didn't call. Didn't text. She'd made her choice, and he respected it, even as it hollowed him out. Then one Tuesday, he looked up from helping a kid with fractions and saw her across the room, clipboard in hand, talking to the center director about an upcoming fundraiser. Their eyes met. This time he didn't hide, didn't chase. He walked over slowly, stopped at a respectful distance. "Thank you," he said quietly. "You were right about everything." He turned to leave, giving her the choice he'd stolen that first day. "Alex!" He stopped. Jennifer was watching him, something complicated working across her face. She'd noticed the volunteer badge, the easy way the kids talked to him, the changes he couldn't fake. "Why are you here?" "Because you showed me what I was missing." He met her eyes. "I'm not asking for anything. I just wanted you to know." He walked toward the door, heard footsteps behind him. "Coffee." Her voice was cautious, careful. "There's a lot we need to talk about." Alex turned, hope and fear warring in his chest. "I'd like that." It wasn't forgiveness. Not yet. But it was truth, finally, and that was worth more than anything money could buy. Thank you for staying until the end. Now go watch the next video.